Good everyone, my name is Graphics. If you look at the left hand side of the screen, you will see a question, and the question shows two given view of a given figure, which is the front elevation and the end elevation, and we are told to assemble it in isometric projection, where we'll make x the lowest point, right? So when you hear the word isometric projection, the first thing you have to do is for you to draw your isometric axis, right? That is, you're going to take your vertical axis, which will be taken as our y, and we're going to take the horizontal axis, which is inclined at 30 degrees at both sides. So this is coming this way, and this is also coming this way. Can you see that? Now, he said this point here, which is the lowest point of this, should be our point what? Point X, right? So what we'll do is we need to, if you look at this part of the diagram here, this is my point X. So if I carry it this way, look at my two arrow moving from here. When I move it to this, I realize that this point here is X. This is how it will be placed. So meaning that from here to here is 80. So I'm going to measure 80 as the elevation there. 80 from 0 to what? To 8 is 80 altogether. Then if here is 80, automatically the other side here will be the end elevation, which is 60. So I'm going to measure 60 at this point here. From 0 to 6 is 60. Can you see that? And the height, the entire height will be from this elevation here, from this point X here up to the center of the circle is 45. Now what is the diameter of the circle? Is given to be what? 40, meaning that the radius will be what? 20. So from here to here is 20, meaning that from here to here also is 20, and 20 plus 45 is what? 65. So I'm going to measure 65 from 0 here to 65 around here. Can you see that? We'll do that again. You see that from 0 here, this is 65. Can you see that? So all this point here, I'm going to use it to form a box. So how will I do that? What I did here and here, I'll replicate it at this point here. So I'm going to have this, and also I'm going to have this. Right? And also I'll take this up vertically to touch it, and also I'll take this up vertically to touch this. Right? Now since I use this to project this side here, I will move it also. Remember, it's on my T-square. I'll move it also to come here, and I'm going to do that the same direction so they'll be parallel to each other. Can you see that? And also, since I use this to get here, I'll project this to the side, and I'm going to close it up. Hope you can see that. So with this, I can easily enlarge it so we can have a clearer view of what we are about to play with here. Hope you can see. So let's start moving. Now what we have here is what we have here. We'll start from the elevation. Everything from beginning to the ending here is thickened. So I'm going to thicken from here to this point here, right? So when I do that, this is what I'll be having. From this point, you're thicken. And similarly, at the elevation too, from here to here is also thicken. So from here, I'll thicken this. Can you see that? And the thickness, you can see this thickness 15 here is same thing as saying this thickness here and this thickness here. So I'm going to measure 15 from the base here. So from 0 here to 15, which I am going to what? Thicken. Can you see that? And I am going to close it up in this manner. Right? And also I'm going to close it up too in this manner. And I'll thicken this point too. Hope you can see that. Then I will just connect this to this. From this point, I will draw my line. And from this point, I'll draw my line too. Hope you can see that. So there's a hole in between. How did I know the hole? This hidden line you're seeing shows that what? There's a hole in between somewhere around here. So how can I locate the hole? It's telling me that from the elevation, this point here, which is this point, I'm going to measure 40 to get to the center of that hole. So when I'm measuring my 40 to get to the center of that hole from 0, right, to 4 is here, I will draw my line at that point this way. Hope you can see that. And on that line, it's telling me that from the end elevation, which is at least the end elevation looking from this side, I'm going to measure 20. So either I measure 20 here or I measure 20 on this line. I'm still saying the same thing. So I measure 20 on this line here. So 0 towards to 20. This 20 here. And I will now rule my line across that point. So that center you see is the center of my hole this way. Now the question is the diameter, the width and the length of the hole is 20 because it is square in shape. So I'll just take my instrument and I am going to measure 10 each, 10 millimeter. Can you see that? Which I am going to place at the center point here, and I'm going to mark 10 here, 10 here, and also I'll mark 10 here and 10 here. Hope you can see that. Then I'll take my instrument and I'm going to draw a line across that point. Hope you can see that. I'll draw a line across that point in this way, and also draw the line across this point in this way. I will turn it again. I'll close it up from this point, thicken it since I know where it's ending. I'll come here also, close it up, thicken it since I know where it's ending, and I'll do the same thing here too. I'll do the same thing here too. Hope you can see that. Then I'll bring this down. Can you see that line? I bring it down. The depth of, because it's going through, that's why the hidden line is coming from the top to the bottom. So if I place it here, this is thickness of 15. I'll come here and I'm going to mark 15 here. Can you see where I mark this 15? That will now help me to close it up. So from here, I'll take it in because it's parallel to this line. And also from here, I'll take it in also. And also, I'll bring this down. Can you see that? So we have shown the hole that is at this point here. Then the remaining one is that there is a circular figure. Are you with me? You've seen it as if it's at the front here, like this circular figure is here. But the elevation is telling me that since it's x and this is x also, then going backward means you're going backward, means that it's at this side here. Are we there? So what I'll simply do, the thickness here we have here is 10, as you can see from the top here. So I'm going to measure 10 here first of all from the end. We're coming from the end elevation. This end here is this end here. So I'm going to measure 10. So from 0 to 10 here. Can you see that? That is the 10 we have. And I'm going to take it up this way. That's what I want to do. I'll take it up. This is 10, right? And also this is another 10 here. Can you see that? Now, the next thing we're going to do after measuring that 10 is to measure 25. 25 here means from the beginning to the ending. So I'll start from this end here. Right? 25 to this side. Why am I starting from this end? Because the circular figures are this end. How did I know that? This is x, and this is where it ends. This is where it ends to. That's what we have here. Can you see direction? So I'm going to measure 25 at that point there. From 0 to 25. Here. Are we there? So this is where 25 ends. Then I'll take my instrument and I'm going to just draw a line across this way. Can you see that? But the diameter of the circle there is 40, right? So I'm going to measure the diameter, which is 40, on my meter rule. So from 0 to 4. Can you see that? And I'll place it at this end here. I'll mark 40. Right? In fact, I'll place at this beginning here. I'll mark 40 and also mark 40 down. You see what I'm about to do? The 40 that I marked, I'm going to draw my line from that end here to touch the arc 40. And I'll come here also, draw this one down too. We have 40. Then I'm going to close it up. So if I want to close it up, I'll come here and I'll do this to touch it. So what we want to do is how to draw an elliptical shape inside this square here. So I'll say here to be my point 1, point 2, point 3, and what? 4, just like we usually do. Right? So I want to extend it backward also because also it is going from the beginning to the end. All together. So let me just extend it back. So if I should bring, this is point 1, here also is point 1. This is point 2, here also is point 2. This is point 2 also. So we have so many point 2 here. So I'll just come here. I'll draw this to go back. And also draw this to go back. Then I'll bring this down. Hope you can see that. So I brought that box out intentionally because we have 3 circles, which is this circle, and this circle. So we have 4 boxes. To do what? We have 4 boxes. Can you see what I've done? So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another 1 here, 2, 3, 4. There's another 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't really have to write those numbers. It's just for explanation sake. So what I'll do next is I'm going to join longest diagonal between 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. Which one is longer? Is 2 and 4. So I'm going to join 2 and 4 here. So once I join 2 and 4 here, I'm going to join 2 and 4 here. I'm doing it simultaneously. I'm going to join 2 and 4 here. Can you see that? Then after that, the next thing is to get the center of that box is I'll just connect as if I want to connect 1 and 2, 1 and then 3. So where it intersects here, that will be the center of that shape there. So that will be the center. So I'll just draw a vertical line across it this way. And I'll draw another vertical line across it this way. Can you see that? So I can just transfer those points, but now I will not stress myself now. So after I've done that, the next thing is from 3, I'll draw a line. Let me now, if I stop at 4, here will be what? 5. Here will be what? 6. Here will be what? 7. And here will be what? 8. I'm going to draw a line from 3 to touch 5. And I'm going to draw a line from 3 to touch 6. Hope you can see that. So this is what we're having, this point, and what? This point here. So let us now draw our circular figure here. So once I place my instrument at this point here, I'm going to connect 6 and 5. I will there connect 6 and 5 in this manner. Faint line first. Hope you can see that. And when I place it at 1, I'm going to connect 8 and 7. 8 and what? 7 this way. Can you see that? When I place it here, at this point here, I'll connect 6 and 7. Hope you can see that. 6 and what? 7. This way. And when I come to this point also, I'll connect 5 and 8. This way. Can you see that? Now the same thing is I'll take it backward also. How would I do that? Instead of me redoing this construction, I'll just transfer points to make it more easier for me. Is that taking? Now from the back one here, since I place it here to get connect between 6 and 5, I can easily come to 3 also here to connect these two sides here together this way. Let me put this very well. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. Just connect these two this way. Can you see that? Similarly, I'll place it at 3 also here also to join the other side to here and here. Hope you can see that. So that will now make me, from the line you see here, this line you see is inclined. meaning that the end here is inclined to this point here. Can you see that? And also this one also is inclined to this point here. Hope you can see that. Then the next thing is to transfer this, to get this other arc here. I will just take my instrument and I'm going to connect from this point here straight down to touch here. Can you see that? Which will now help me to get the arc that will connect this arc to this arc is this point here. So if I transfer the point from this inclined line here, I'll mark here. Or I just take my compass, I place it from this point to this point, and I come to this line here. Go to this line here and I mark. Can you see that? So if I now place it at the same point, gradually connect these two here together. Hope you can see that. So let me thicken it out. So we proceed. Now watching this, and if I was thicken anything here, just look at what is happening. This part, right, is connected. I'll just move it straight down to touch here, right, so that this curve will be touching that. So how can I get that curve? I'll transfer this point also to touch the diagonal that I need, which is this. Which I will now take my instrument, place it this way, then I'm going to close it up. Can you see that? So I'll thicken it out. Hope you can see that. So the next one is, before I thicken this, there's another cylinder from inside here that is extruded out, right? And to a distance of what? Of 15. So what I will do is, from the center here, I'll take my instrument and I'll protrude it out a little bit. Then I'm going to measure a distance of what? 15, as you can see here on that line there I measured. So when I measure 15, we know from here to here is 15, right? So I'm going to place it at this center point. So I'll mark on that line 15. Hope you can see that. So once I measure 15 or measure on that line 15, right? Then I'm going to now draw my vertical and horizontal line using my instrument the way you can see. So on this point, I'll draw vertical, and on this point, on the same point, I'll draw horizontal. So this is where they are meeting. And diameter of that circle there is given to be, you can check it from here, diameter of 20. So I'm going to measure 10 millimeter each. So we know from here to here is 10. You can measure it on your instrument. Right? So this is 10 here. So when I come to this point, I can measure from here 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter, right? 10 millimeter and what? 10 millimeter. So easy to bring out my box. So I'm bringing out the box this way, long, right here also, this way, here also, this way, through those points, this way. So this is the box I brought out. I'll just move them can come here also. I'll do the same thing here too. Alright, I'll just come here and I'll extend it from this endpoint here. This is what we have here, and from this endpoint here, this is what we have here. So I want to have the same box at that point there. Alright, so I'll just take my instrument. Let's check that again. From here, it's stopping here, and from here, it's stopping here. So let's just bring it out. Vertical, vertical. So I can easily just close it up. That is enough. So what you saw there is I brought that box out. What you're focusing on is this box here. This box you can see here. So you join the longest diagonals. Alright. Can you see that? And also you join the longest diagonal here also. We already have it here. So you can do the same thing, or I'll just take my instrument. I'll connect from this point to the beginning here, just like we've been doing earlier. Hope you can see that. Then I'll still come here also. If you trace this down, I'll come here too. Can you see that? Then I need to get one of the 2 points that is here and here. How will I get that? I'll take my instrument and I'll connect from this point to this point. We're just repeating what we did for the bigger one. So from this point to this point, they are meeting here and here. So when I place it here, I can easily close it up. And when I place it here also, I can easily close it up. So let me thicken it out. Can you see that? Now the next thing is I will now project this from this end to go and touch the diagonal. And from this end to go and touch the diagonal. And I'll repeat the same thing. So where is diagonal here? If I project it from this end here, so where it touches this vertical line is here. That is where I will use to get my other arc from here to here. And place it from here to here. Is from here to here. So that's what I will use to cover it up. Out there. So let me thicken it out so you see what I'm talking about. You can see that. So I have brought this out so I can easily thicken the rest now. So let me start to take the rest. That is what I have here before. I'll thicken it out. Right. let's do the remaining one. I'll take it from here to here. Also from here to here. So this is what we have successfully reproduced. That is the isometric projection of the given view at the left hand side of the projection. So if you found the video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.